Okay, there. Now we're back. I don't know what the heck that was all about, but we got the live stream back up and running, so that's good. And let's see. We're just gonna go ahead and start connecting everything together. All right. Yeah, vertically, I don't think we're not quite where we should be. X-ray. So obviously because we're not quite
we'll have to move it again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move. I think we're gonna have to move like the whole display upward. It looks like. Yeah, we're gonna have to move this, our display that is currently existing, upward. Oh, yes. The X-ray actually wanted me to mention that. I forgot to mention that. The RDF server is open to visitors, so you are welcome to come onto the RDF server, which is rdf.net and or mc.therdf.net, and check things out. Even if you don't want to actually apply, you can just see all the various projects and interact with our cool little community. And if you do want to apply, great, you're welcome to. And wow, that was really loud. You're welcome to apply and, you know, hopefully get in. And other than that, you're free to wander around and be a part. Hey, Titanic Nut, hello. Haven't seen you in a while. Of course, probably about a month actually, because I haven't really seen anybody for about that long. Anyway, let's move our display up some.
Yeah, we need to move into display plus the bus about 10 blocks up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Because it's a little bit off.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to expand.
No, we can include actual vertical busing as well.
Included vertical busing?
Well, display parts, yep.
Yeah, well, I've got the... Okay, so we need to shift it up by 10, you said?
10 or 9. Let's try 10.
Alright. Let's try... Well, let's see. Where's...
But I suggest you to grab vertical buses as well, because they will have to move together.
What vertical? We haven't done any vertical. We haven't done any vertical busing yet.
Those lines we already made. Those diagonal lines.
Oh, the ones that X-ray is working on?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me expand this out quite a bit then. Hold on. Alright, now let's double check our math here, because that's a massive chunk that we're going to be moving. So we'd like to move it as few times as possible, preferably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is here. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're gonna have to move it up by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. I was telling you, X-ray. Because I don't know if you can hear me or not. There we go. so that is more accurate. That's where we need to be. In this block here. Going on up. Yay, math. When it works. When I can actually math correctly. Which apparently has not been very often in this particular episode. Alright. Doop, 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 doop. Okay. So that's good. We got some good stuff going down
User
here.
entered your channel. User left your channel.
I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that if we take this and we copy it down, like yeah, that's not really gonna work. That'd be a pain in the butt to copy. Okay, so let's just move this out.
Well, if you can stack with air, then yes, it would be possible to copy.
Right. Can you stack without air? I don't know if you can or not. Oh, that looks really trippy. It looks almost like the gold blocks are see-through with World Edit CUI on. It looks like they're hollow, like they're glass, they're golden glass. Kind of cool looking. Anyway,
You can't stack without errors, check.
you can stack without air. Cool. Well, let's give that a shot then, shall we? Stack 2 down minus A. Whoops. My bad. Forgot about that. We're not going to really be able to stack it because
Yeah,
of
only
its
if
massive
it's all
vertical.
modular
Yeah.
chunks.
Let's see. We can, in theory, do this.
Oh wait.
Oops. Hang on. I meant to do paste minus A. There we go. That'd simplify a few things.
Alright, you have fun with You're pasting it a little bit close.
Also, to redo your last command, just
Whoops.
open the chat window and press the up arrow.
Hey, that's pretty cool. Let's see, how's the... Okay, I think what we're gonna have to do...
I think we can paste the main chunk and the rest will just realign by hands.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna have to cut out these sections. Because I can't really. Well, let's see. I don't know. Maybe I can. Let's see. I don't know. Whoops. I'm gonna do that for now. Haha. Paste minus A. That's close. It's very close. Cool. It's not exactly clean, but it works. Oops.
It's much easier than doing it by hand.
Oh yeah. Much, much, much easier. That's right. Ha, paste my mistake. Cool.
Ack.
Up. Hang on. Let me undo that. There we go.
I would suggest it to decrease the paste amount.
Yeah, it's looking like it's not exactly going to be perfect, but it'll work. Looks like we'll have a few that are going to be manual. Yes. Oh, very nice. Very, very nice. Take a look, Graham. Was it XQ? XQ has created
Yeah,
integrated
that's exactly
busing.
what I mind.
Yeah. So he rocked that out right here, and that's the whole top section.
I wasn't yeah, it was exactly how much it's gonna take time, so I didn't decided not to do it on the live stream, but I guess it was previous.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Well done. Very well done. We're going to be
It looks
replacing.
much more nifty.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So Vidyahuik asked, why are we redoing Prelude Chambered? The first one was very limited. It was kind of a proof of concept to see if the idea was sound, but yes, we will be using it. It was just kind of a proof of concept. So because it was just a proof of concept, it was very limited, and so I wanted to expand on that and actually make it like a playable game rather than just kind of a tinkery toy, which I guess all of this is tinkery toy, but whatever. So Ix says he's going to work on integrating the other the bottom part, so we're not even going to bother with the busing right now because it's all going to get torn out and put in anyway. Woohoo!
Alright then. Are you gonna start with the occlusion system?
Yeah, we might as well. Since
can you set up the slides for the keys and portcullis so I can start finish dynamic object library?
You mean like draw out the slides?
Yes, so I can see how many slides per each object we will have.
Okay.
For the door and for the key itself.
I can tell you that right now. It's going to be 5 or 6 images. Oh, wait, hang on, let me think. Because we just heard that. Let me look at the map real quick and double check that I actually have that number correct. Minecraft, where is it? Minecraft stuff, there it is. Preluded chambered stuff. According to the map. Ta-da! Our door is going to be here, so we're looking at 3 for the door. And
so you're just gonna scrap the total stuff for the door?
Yeah, as far as
we're just gonna make this exact setup. We're not gonna bother with anything else.
Well, that was my plan, was to just use this design for now, because the big problem that we're having with the Prelude of the Chambered version 2 right now is feature creep. We keep expanding on it and expanding on it, and it's just never. It's at this rate we're never going to get it done.
Yeah.
So I just want to get at least a small map in it.
Take the third one.
Yeah, and we can do a small map in this one, and then do a larger map for like the third one, for example. So we're just going to roll with this. We've got 3 for the door, because we're going to be standing here, so 1, 2, yeah, 3 for the door. We'll say, because we're not going to be able to see the kitty corner, we'll only be able to see it really directly on, so we're looking at, let's say, let's make it easy, let's make it 2, so we're 5 total for the key in the door. Well, that's just a shut door. If we want to make an open door, we're also going to need another 3 for that.
Well, those are equal walls. Am I correct?
What's that?
Or those are doors.
I'm talking about I'm talking about the locked door, the one that we're going to be able to open with the key.
Okay.
So we want to have it.
What about the dark gray? I mean, the light gray and the dark gray, are they separate or are they just breakable walls?
It's just breakable walls. The light gray is, those are just breakable walls. So the breakable walls, the red ones are...
got confused because you have 2 different grays.
I do. Huh. Whoops. Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't like always bugging me. Wasn't sure exactly where they're like separate stuff.
No, they're supposed to be the same color gray. I don't know why it's showing up as 2 different colors.
Okay.
Gray, but yeah, they're supposed to be the same color gray. Be more gray. Okay. So yeah, that's all the same color gray. The grays are just breakable walls. The green is the door that is going to be openable, and that's going to be. I'm thinking that we're also going to have because the idea is that there's going to be some treasure in here, so we're also going to need a treasure image. Just one. Because as soon as the door, because the plan is as soon as the door opens, and you see the treasure, that's going to be the end of the game.
Well, you can always step back and look at it from further away.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that we won't really be looking for it further away, because as soon as you walk up and use the key on the door, then that's, you won, congratulations, you found the key and unlocked the door. So you're not going to be able to continue moving after that point. The game will be over. So we only need the one close-up perspective. We need 3 for the door that's shut, 3 for the...
Well,
3 for the door that...
Oh, don't forget, then the treasure itself going to be a static object then.
Yeah,
it doesn't need it to be dynamic.
No, it doesn't need any dynamic. It's just a static image. So we need 3 images for a closed door. One of which is going to the up close one is the one that actually switches over to be open. So 3.
No, it doesn't really matter. I just only need the amount of feet I need to feed up. The rest, the open stuff, it can be added later in a display.
Okay, so basically there's only 2 things that have a dynamic aspect. Well, I guess there's only one thing that has a dynamic aspect, just that door, because the key, we're just going to have it so that it on action, when you stand on it, well, that is a dynamic object then. So, okay, 2 objects.
Well, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you pick it up, it's no
longer there. So we have a door and a key. Those are the 2 dynamic objects. Yep. So
how many slides per key?
There's going to be 2 slides. 2 slides for the key.
What about if standing in a corner and you see the key on your side, to the left or to the right?
I wasn't planning on having it visible to the left or if it's kitty corner to you. Because it's just going to be a small thing like in the middle of the floor, so it's not really going to be visible from a kitty corner perspective.
All right.
So we've got 2 frames for the key, 3 frames for the door, 4 technically because one of them is going to be open. And that's it.
You know what? We can even combine the open door with the open door and a treasure.
Yeah, we could,
because if open the door and that is the end game, we can just make the actual drawing of an open door to include the treasure.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, that makes sense.
That way we only need 2 feet for the door, 3 feet for the key, and that's it. The library is done.
I like it.
Well, except for the fact that I have to add rapid random access memory to check the presence or absence of the doors.
Right. Okay. So, next step then is the actual I'm gonna have to shift all this over and we end up wiping all that out. Okay. Let's see.
I'm gonna mute myself for a second so I can think in a quiet environment.
Okay. Oops. There we go. Yeah, the busing does tend to look pretty darn cool when it's just kind of hanging out like that. For sure. takes care of that. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tall. Okay. Double check that real quick. Hey Graham, what is your what's your plot again? I can't remember. It's been too long.
Hold on a second, I'll pour itself, because I don't even remember myself.
All right. Yeah, busing. When it comes to big stuff, busing is like 80% of the creation for sure. It's a pain.
All right, you can pour to me.
Okay.
I'm thinking about the door, and the door itself, as you have described it, is pretty much static. So I think we can pretty much exclude it from the dynamic objects at all.
Okay.
Because you walk towards the door and you trigger an opening sequence, which will check your position, direction, and the presence of the key. And after that, it's gonna show you pretty much a splash screen, and the game is over.
Right. So it doesn't even need to be a dynamic object. You're right.
Yep. So like we're not gonna move around and look at the open door anymore.
Yeah.
So we can actually make that last frame pretty much awesome looking dynamic frame of, for example, like a sequence of a couple of slides showing the door slowly opening up. There's a glittering, fun stuff behind it.
Yeah.
Since it's
We could have like
way easier to do that.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But that will be later on.
Well, yeah, for sure. But that would simplify the dynamic. That means that the only dynamic objects in the game are the breakable walls and the key.
Yep.
Wow, that's simplified. Good. We like simple.
I'm gonna create a standard unit for the key, so in case we will ever port it to another game, we can just copy paste it. So it will actually be available to look at it from 4 directions.
Cool. All right.
But we'll only code it for 3 directions.
Right.
Possible.
This looks amazing, guys. Fantastic work. Oops. Okay. Expand it down by, see, 1. Let's go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Expand 19. There we go. I'll grab everything. Okay, so. Alright, Ix, this looks awesome. I think we're ready. Are we ready to connect your busing to the display? Ix.
By the way, Barry, do you want to add another wall? Because I just realized our dynamic library handles 8 separate units. So we can easily code one in without changing anything.
I suppose we could.
I'm just throwing it out because like right now we have 8 different locations we can set up the dynamic objects in.
Okay. Yeah, I'll think about that, but this is kind of cool. Mr. Garrett built a house inside of the old, the soon-to-be completely wiped out, display system. He built it in such a way that it didn't interfere with the wiring. It's just like this secret little house inside of the old occlusion system. That's funny. And actually pretty cool. I like it. That is cool, Mr. Garrett. Very, very cool. Yeah, we'll have to make another house inside of the new one. Okay, so it's not quite ready. Yeah, it's a good idea. Easter eggs inside the redstone.
User entered your channel. User left your channel. User disconnected from your channel.
Ix is working on the busing and fixing it. So let's go back down. Where is my... there it is. Okay. And this guy is what we're going to have to take and make sure we have enough of. So let's see. We can stack this. Okay, so that's about what it's going to look like. So let's go ahead and expand one down. I guess I spend another one. Okay. And there we go. Okay, so we're going to, let's stack it once this way, make sure that's working right. Oh, it's too close. My bad. Okay, so we actually need to expand one this way and add an additional connector there, and then we can stack it. So it was just a little too close. Stack one. So pretty. Okay, now let's take and stack it back this way once and see how that looks. Actually, we can contract it one this way. Then stack it. Oops. Okay. Now we're on here. Stack. Cool. So we've got a very lovely system in place here that stacks all the way back. Oh, very cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now we know how many frames we need, but how many frames do we actually need? Since we're doing it in a very similar manner to this, we can just count these. One, I don't remember how many they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there's 17 back. Also, a few things. Hello, X-Ray Doc. Let's see. So if there's going to be some additional stuff we're going to do, but we don't have to do that right now. Actually, hang on. That's not even correct, because a lot of these are static. They don't need an occlusion system, even though the occlusion system is actually the same size. We're not going to put the occlusion in there just because it'll be easier to program so we don't get lost. So as far as the occlusion frames we go, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, plus a few, but we can always tack those on at the end. So 9 of them. Let's see, stack 9. Okay, expand by, let's see, expand by 18. I think I just gave myself 10, which is fine because I'll actually need a little more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's so much more condensed.
By the way, Barry,
Yes.
I just wanted to let you know for sure. Do you remember I talked about the possibility of feeding through the actual occlusion system from top to the bottom, or from the bottom to the top, in the middle of the feed?
What? We're talking about.
With the three wide design, you can actually have feeds within the system, not outside of it, but you can also have them within. But to do that, you have to separate the slice more than 2 or 3 blocks away.
Oh, I see what you mean. So instead of having the feeds come off the sides like they are doing here, we could have them go up the middle like we have over in the rest of the system.
Yep. Although, as I've just said to you, like this requires the slice to separate much more profusely between each other. So if you, so you know, you remember this stuff?
Yeah,
I'm
starting to remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
In case like you wanted to power something in the middle of the screen, somewhere separated.
We could do that and save a few ticks.
Yep.
That is
Especially since I remember we'll cut out a lot of the occlusion, unused occlusion anyways.
yeah. Yeah, we might want to do that. How far spaced apart do these guys need to be?
I think at least 4.
So we're talking 4 spaced apart horizontally, or 4 spaced apart depth-wise?
Between slides.
Okay. So if we space it out a little more, so if we did, all right. So let's. Okay.
I'm not sure it's going to be a viable thing to do it for every single slide, because that will make the display way too big.
It will make the display really huge.
And will pretty much turn nothing the benefit, the increased elastic benefit that we managed to make. So this is just like only for like 1 or 2 time use only.
Okay.
Mostly in those situations we have like occlusion cut out, we can actually put the feeds through in those places, in case we will need them.
Well, I think that so I think that what we'll do is we'll have them condensed for now, and then tweak it as we find we need it. And that would probably be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, I just wanted to like remind you, like you will keep it in mind.
Yeah.
In case you will need something like this.
Cool. Good deal.
All right.
Okay. A lot of people asking here. It is. We've been going on for about an hour and a half now,
User
which is
entered
good.
your channel.
Minus the interruption due to my internet being all wonky, but that's cool. We've got another about half an hour left on the time, roughly. I do say roughly. So yeah, we're doing good. And Ix says that his system is ready. So it looks pretty good here. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and move these over. Let's see, by a couple. We have all these. I have a bunch of stuff in the way. Always stuff in the way. Lots of stuff in the way. But let's carve out this extra stuff real quick. Stack. How many? We already got one, so I only need to stack it 20 times. Ha! That got rid of this stuff on its own. Eat that stuff. Thank you, Pip-Booey. I mean, I know I just kind of erased it, but, you know. I appreciate it. Yeah, break stuff. Break stuff. Break stuff. Break stuff. I like to break stuff. Oops, I broke too much stuff. Ha, there we go. Okay, so that is our new super compact high efficiency occlusion system. Woohoo! Let's see. So what we're gonna do is instead of building it here, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to align it first with the new display. So we got a lot of stuff to do to move the display into its proper position, because right now it's not in its right position. So before we completely build the display, oh, there's a message here. You just wasted 5 seconds of my life. Haha, awesome. Okay, so we're going to have to move the display over. So we can do that. We can move this display into position. We can also attach the new busing that Ix made, which is awesome, onto the display, which we can cut out this old busing that we spent a good chunk of time on. And we're also going to have to cut out the old stuff of the Prelude of the Chambered here. And yeah, that's gonna be sad. Not gonna lie, it's kind of sad. And then I'm going to install this occlusion system into here, but only after also installing the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 static imageries. So we need to put that on there too, but we'll do all that once we edit it into position. Right now, we have to carve out a lot of the old stuff, make room for the new stuff. And also make sure that it's aligned with the display, with the player position. Stand here so that, you know, it looks proper. So let's see. Trying to think of exactly what I want to do here. Which parts I'm going to cut out first. Because I don't want to cut too deep into it, because these lines here are pretty useful still. The ones down below. So basically I just want to cut out this top line, okay. So if we cut from here, then go up. And then we'll expand it as necessary because there's a few areas missing. Okay, Darkroom, I will let you know what I could need help with as it comes up. I appreciate the offer. Oh, well, in that case, never mind. 4 blocks outward.
Thanks, Dark.
2 blocks over.
I think that was directed to you.
Expand one up. Okay, and then I'll carve out those sections differently because I can't expand it too far outward, otherwise we'll cut into our own fancy busing. I guess I could expand it out 2 more this way. Expand it more, 2 more. Yep. Okay. Bye-bye old Prelude display. Well, what's left of it anyway. No problem. Anytime. Alright, so now let's deselect. Heh. Looks like we got a few blocks here. Well, I'm sure I can figure out a way to give you some more lag there, Titan. Break, 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 break. No, it's 4x5 spacing. No, I think that's right. 3 by 5. That is correct. So that should be correct. That should connect up with everything properly.
Unless I forgot to count something.
Right. Unless math fails us, which it has been for like the whole episode, so, you know. Yeah. Set. Oops. Set air. Bloop. Got some extra chunks up here. Oops. Expand. Down. Oops. Expand 4 down. And then set air. Okay. A few extra scragglers here and there. Okay. And then we'll hop down here. Try out a few more extra stuff. Titan, if you thought that was laggy, just wait till I have to actually move this display around. That's going to be a fun task.
Awesome.
there. Okay, and then we're going to tear out all of these chunks, which looks like we're going to be able to do without damaging anything. Or not. At least take it up to there. Yep, that won't damage anything. Poof. Okay. And then here to here. There. Okay, so now.
Thanks for the lag.
I didn't do any lag that time. At least I shouldn't have. It wasn't me, I swear. Okay. Okay. So now comes the more tricky part. And that is figuring out exactly where everything is going to end up being. First things first, I'm going to take the display and move it off the older busing. Come on. Clicky, 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 clicky. Major lag spike going on. No clicky, clicky.
Yeah, the server's crashed.
That wasn't me.
I didn't do it.
Wow.
Yep, server crashed.
Yeah. Oh well. Let's try it again. I wonder what crashed at that time. That's the problem with working with World Edit and all of these fancy tools is they can be really intense on systems.
Yeah.
No, don't tell me I can't reach the server. I want to reach the server. Reach the server.
Funny thing is, the server has been crashing a lot lately. It wasn't just today.
Yeah? Huh.
Yeah, I've seen it done yes and 2 days ago, I think.
Must be.
Jess is moving stuff around.
Yeah. I know he's been working on doing...
Making it more fail-safe.
Yeah, exactly.
And the process to advance.
In order to gain stability, we must lose stability temporarily.
Yeah.
Doop-a-doo. Ba-doop-a-doo. Wonder how long it's going to be down for. Curious.
That's on the school server in the meantime.
School server's still up and
What?
running. But that doesn't really do me any
Titanic,
good.
can you link me a school server?
It's just sc.therdf.net instead of mc.
Oh, okay.
And we have some people on there. 7 of them, specifically.
We should have a little more.
9. Ooh. Since nobody can get on the build server, everybody's like, oh, screw that, I'm going to go onto the school server. Well, I might just cut our live stream here real short. Well, not real short. I guess it's only 15 minutes short. But I think that'd be the shortest live stream I've done so far.
How long is it right now?
That's been an hour and 46 minutes. So I don't think I've cut one. I don't think I've ever cut one under 2 hours.
Yeah, it's always gonna be on.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes that's what you gotta do. But that's okay. We actually kind of hit a good stopping point right there. We've got the busing right there. We've got the busing display. We can move the display onto the newer busing that was made by Ix, which looks beautiful and it's integrated and it looks awesome and it condensed and everything. And we're able to take that busing and move it into position and align it properly. with where the player is going to be standing in the control room so that they can see it and make sure everything looks good as far as that goes, and hopefully not completely destroy the remnants of the feeds that are going on down below. And even if we do, that's okay, because most likely things are going to be mixed up and changed a little bit anyway with the new occlusion / slide system. So yeah, we're actually at a pretty decent stopping point. We can tackle all of that next week, which I will be here for.
Where have you been the last month?
Taking care of brand new child. Had my daughter.
Oh yeah,
So
nice.
I like the brand new.
yes, brand new, shiny. Yep, she's a kick.
That's
Kind
awesome.
of poses some awful questions.
Some awful questions.
Yes, if you're imagining brand new one, what about the second-hand ones?
Let's see. I guess those would be adopted children, wouldn't
What
they?
have you been
Secondhand.
modeling us?
Come on, build server.
Come on.
I actually don't host the schools anymore. If you caught that, Barrick.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that because it was just too much of a burden for you. I'm impressed that you
Yeah.
did it as long as you did. That was a huge
Yeah.
money sink for you to be able to do that. So I'm glad that.
Cost of the server in 3 months.
Yeah. I'm really glad that Assassin came around and was like, okay, I'll host it so that we can at least keep that going, because I think that's
Make Impact's hosting it.
oh, Make Impact's hosting it. Nice.
Yeah.
I missed
the
that
new-
part. Well, thank you, Make Impact. I really appreciate you hosting our school server for us. It makes a big difference. I know that a lot of people really appreciate being able to come on there and learn and explore their own Redstone stuff. So, thank you, Make Impact. You are awesome.
The server is basically the old build server with a little more RAM.
Nice.
Pentium for the win.
For sure.
People asking you to come on the server.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think
Now, I guess I'll try to finish up the data system
okay.
for the next live stream,
Yeah.
wherever that will be.
Yeah. It'll be Friday, next Friday. So,
Oh, that's that unfinished.
yeah. I'll be here next Friday for sure, and we'll pick up right where we left off there. And yeah, we'll get this thing all put together. So, good stuff.
Is the child coming to the family nest?
What's that?
Will I see your child on the RDF?
Yes, definitely. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna...
Yeah, currently I would say the data library is pretty much finished.
Cool.
There's only like a door and a key left over to code in, and then it's pretty much ready for the data input.
Good stuff. Then, sounds like we're gonna be doing a lot of programming next time. Woohoo!
User entered
I wouldn't
your
consider
channel.
that happening though.
Hey guys.
So, alrighty. Well, that's going to be the end of the live stream out of kind of necessity. So, appreciate all of you for coming. Gremokar, thank you for helping out. Titan, thank you for everything that you do. Everybody else on the live stream, I really appreciate you stopping by and checking stuff out. And I'm again, apologize for the month-long delay, but yeah, if you thought my math was bad today, you should have seen it like a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, we'll talk to you all next week, Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And until then, adios.